A team of researchers entered a question into an advanced quantum eye system. The question was simple: who built the universe? They expected a predictable answer based on science and history. Instead, the response triggered debate among physicists, computer scientists, and philosophers. Some dismissed it. Others could not stop thinking about it, because the answer raised a deeper question. What happens when a machine studies humanity's biggest mystery and responds in a way nobody expected? For most of human history, the question of who built the universe belonged to religion, philosophy, and science. Entire civilizations were shaped by the search for an answer. Ancient cultures created stories about gods. Philosophers argued about first causes. Scientists searched for physical laws that could explain how everything began. Yet despite centuries of progress, one fact remained unchanged. Nobody knew exactly how the universe started. Modern science has explained many things. We know stars are born inside clouds of gas. We know galaxies move across enormous distances. We know the universe has been expanding for billions of years. The Big Bang model describes this expansion with remarkable accuracy. But there is a limit. The model can describe what happened after the beginning. It struggles to explain what caused the beginning itself. That unanswered gap has fascinated researchers for decades. At Google's quantum research facilities, scientists were working on a different challenge. Their focus was not theology or philosophy. It was computation. They wanted to build machines capable of solving problems beyond the reach of ordinary computers. Quantum systems operate differently from traditional machines. A normal computer processes information through bits that are either 0 or 1. Quantum processors use qubits, which can exist in multiple states at the same time. This strange property allows certain calculations to be explored in ways that appear almost impossible from a classical perspective. As the systems became more advanced, researchers started testing them in unusual ways. Not because they expected revolutionary answers, but because asking questions is often how discoveries begin. Some experiments involved chemistry. Others involved mathematics. A few explored complex scientific theories. Then someone proposed a different kind of question. A question with no clear answer. A question older than recorded history. Who built the universe? The wording itself was unusual. Scientists normally avoid language like build. The term implies intention. It suggests a designer, an architect, or some kind of creator. Scientific discussions usually focus on mechanics rather than builders. Still, the question was entered. The eye analyzed enormous amounts of information. Scientific papers. Historical writings. Philosophical arguments. Mathematical theories. Public discussions. Research databases. Then it generated a response. At first glance, nothing seemed extraordinary. The answer did not contain magical predictions. It did not reveal secret equations. It did not claim certainty. Yet several researchers noticed something strange. The response appeared to connect ideas from different fields in a way that felt unusual. Concepts from cosmology appeared beside the theories of information. Discussions of physical laws blended with mathematical structures. The more people examined it, the more divided they became. Some argued the answer was nothing more than sophisticated pattern matching. Others wondered whether the system had identified relationships hidden across thousands of separate sources. Soon, conversation spread beyond the laboratory. Experts began debating not only the answer itself, but also what the answer represented. Because for the first time, a machine built by humans had been asked one of humanity's oldest questions. And its response was about to pull investigators into a mystery far larger than anyone expected. To understand why the answer attracted so much attention, it is necessary to understand where it came from. Most people think of artificial intelligence as software running on ordinary computers. They imagine powerful servers processing vast amounts of information and generating responses based on learned patterns. That picture is mostly correct. But quantum computing introduces another layer to the story. Inside highly controlled research facilities, quantum processors operate under conditions that seem almost unreal. Temperatures are pushed close to absolute zero. Delicate systems are shielded from outside interference. Even tiny disturbances can affect calculations. The machines themselves do not look like the computers people use every day. Instead, many quantum processors resemble complex scientific instruments. Cables, metal structures, and cooling systems hang from large frameworks. To an outsider, they may look more like equipment from a physics experiment than the future of computing. Yet researchers believe these systems could eventually transform entire industries. The reason lies in how quantum computation approaches problems. Traditional computers move through calculations step by step. They are incredibly fast, but they still follow specific paths. Quantum systems can explore certain possibilities in parallel ways that classical machines cannot easily reproduce. This does not mean quantum computers are magical. They cannot instantly solve every problem. They cannot predict the future. And they certainly cannot discover hidden truths that do not exist. However, they can process some kinds of complexity differently. That possibility has attracted enormous interest from governments, universities, and technology companies around the world. As research advanced, scientists began combining quantum technologies with increasingly powerful AI systems. The goal was practical. Researchers wanted better tools for solving difficult scientific questions. But curiosity often pushes science beyond practical goals. When advanced systems become available, people naturally test their limits. They ask unusual questions. Some estimates they ask impossibly honest. The universe itself became one of those questions. Researchers knew that AI systems learn from information created by humans. They knew every response would be influenced by existing knowledge. No machine could independently witness the birth of the cosmos. Still, there was value in exploration. Human knowledge is scattered across millions of documents. Scientific papers exist in separate fields. Philosophical arguments are often disconnected from physics. Mathematical theories may remain isolated from broader discussions. An advanced AI can examine all of them together. That ability creates something interesting. Not new facts, but new connections. The researchers who participated in these experiments were not expecting a final answer to humanity's greatest mystery. Most viewed the exercise as intellectual exploration. A way to see how advanced systems organize information. A way to discover whether unexpected patterns may emerge. The question entered into the system was intentionally simple. Who built the universe? The machine processed the request. Then it responded. What happened next surprised many observers. Not because the answer was definitive. Not because it proved a theory. But because different experts interpreted it in completely different ways. Computer scientist Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sophisticated language generation. Physicists Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam a choice of ongoing debates in cosmology. Philosophers recognized ideas that stretched back thousands of years. Each group looked at the same response and reached different conclusions. That disagreement became the real story. Because the more people discussed the answer, the more another question emerged. If a machine can gather humanity's knowledge into a single response, where do the machine's ideas and humanity's ideas begin? The search for that distinction would soon lead investigators far beyond the walls of the quantum lab. And into a mystery that had existed long before computers were ever imagined. If you value deep investigations like this, consider subscribing. Long before computers existed, long before science became a formal discipline, human beings stood beneath the night sky and wondered how everything began. They looked at the stars and Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam patterns. They watched the sun rise and set. They observed seasons changing, rivers flowing, and life appearing and disappearing. The world seemed ordered. And where there is order, people naturally search for a cause. Every civilization developed its own explanation. Some believed powerful gods created the heavens and the earth. Others described cosmic battles that gave birth to reality. Ancient storytellers spoke of creators emerging from darkness, oceans, or endless voids. These stories differed from one culture to another. Yet they shared something important. They all attempted to answer the same question. Why does anything exist at all? As centuries passed, philosophers approached the mystery differently. Instead of relying entirely on MYTHS, they used logic. They asked whether every event must have a cause. They debated whether the universe had a beginning or had always existed. They questioned whether an infinite chain of causes was possible. Some argued that everything must trace back to a first cause. Others believed reality itself might be eternal. The debate continued for generations. Then science entered the conversation. The scientific revolution transformed humanity's understanding of the cosmos. Observations replaced assumptions. Experiments replaced speculation. Mathematics became a tool for describing nature with extraordinary precision. Slowly, the universe appeared less mysterious. Planets followed predictable paths. Gravity explained motion. Light revealed distant worlds. Each discovery answered old questions. But each answer also created new ones. In the 20th century, scientists made one of the most important discoveries in history. The universe was expanding. Galaxies were moving away from one another. Space itself appeared to be stretching. If researchers traced this expansion backward, they reached a point where everything seemed compressed into an unimaginably dense state. This idea eventually became known as the Big Bang Theory. For many people, it sounded like the final answer. But it was not. The Big Bang describes how the universe evolved from an extremely hot and dense beginning. It explains expansion. It explains cosmic background radiation. It explains the formation of matter. Yet it leaves a critical question unresolved. What caused the Big Bang? Scientists proposed many possibilities. Some suggested quantum fluctuations. Others imagined cycles of creation and collapse. Some explored the idea of multiple universes. Others argued that time itself may have begun with the Big Bang, making the concept of before meaningless. Despite the decades of research, no single explanation achieved universal acceptance. The mystery remained. That is why the question asked to the eye attracted attention. Not because researchers expected a definitive solution, but because the machine had access to an enormous collection of human thought. Scientific theories, philosophical arguments, historical perspectives, mathematical models, religious ideas. The system could examine them all simultaneously. When people heard about the experiment, reactions varied. Some laughed at the idea. Others were intrigued. A few believed the machine might reveal unexpected relationships hidden within humanity's accumulated knowledge. The eye itself possessed no direct understanding of the universe as birth. It had never observed the beginning of time. It had no special access to reality. Yet it could analyze patterns across information on a scale impossible for any individual human. And that ability raised an unsettling possibility. What if the most valuable insight was not a new answer? What if it was a new way of connecting old answers? As investigators continued examining the response, they noticed something interestingly difficult to ignore. The machine appeared to be linking concepts that usually remained separate. Physics, information, mathematics, reality itself. And those connections would soon become the center of an unexpected controversy. When the eye finally delivered its response, researchers did not immediately realize that anything unusual had happened. The answer was not dramatic. There were no bold declarations. No claims of absolute certainty. No statement that a specific being, force, or civilization had created the universe. Instead, the response appeared measured and careful. At first glance, it resembled the type of answer many advanced eye systems generate when asked difficult questions. But the deeper experts looked, the more discussion it created. According to people who analyzed similar experiments, the response did something unexpected. Rather than focusing on a single explanation, it connected several different frameworks together. It discussed physical laws. It discussed information. It discussed mathematical structures. And it suggested that what humans describe as the universe may emerge from relationships deeper than matter itself. That wording immediately attracted attention. Not because the idea was entirely new. Scientists and philosophers had explored similar concepts before. What surprised observers was the way the eye connected them. Researchers from different fields began examining the response line by line. Physicists noticed references that resembled modern discussions about the foundations of reality. Computer scientists recognized concepts related to information theory. Mathematician Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam a choice of arguments suggesting that mathematics may be woven into the structure of existence itself. Philosophers Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam questions that had existed for thousands of years. The same answer appeared to speak different languages to different experts. That was where the controversy began. Some researchers argued there was nothing remarkable about the response. From their perspective, the explanation was simple. The eye had been trained on enormous amounts of human knowledge. Naturally, it combined ideas from many sources. Any appearance of originality was merely the result of sophisticated pattern generation. In their view, people were reading too much into the output. The machine was reflecting human thinking. Nothing more. Authors were less certain. They agreed that the eye was not discovering hidden truths independently. Yet they pointed out something important. Human experts often work within narrow specialties. Physicists focus on physics. Philosophers focus on philosophy. Computer scientists focus on computation. The eye had examined all of them together. Could it be identifying relationships that humans rarely notice because knowledge is divided into separate fields? The possibility was difficult to dismiss completely. Soon the discussion expanded. Articles appeared online. Podcasts debated the implications. Academic circles began discussing the broader meaning of the experiment. The focus gradually shifted away from the specific answer. Instead, people became interested in what the answer revealed about intelligence itself. Could a machine create useful insights simply by connecting existing information in new ways? Or was society witnessing a powerful illusion? The debate became even more complicated when another observation emerged. Many parts of the eye's response seemed connected to a growing scientific idea. An idea that had been quietly gaining attention for years. The possibility that information, not matter, might be the most fundamental ingredient of reality. To some researchers, this was merely one theory among many. To others, it represented a profound shift in how the universe might be understood. And strangely, the eye's answer appeared to point directly toward it. That discovery would push the investigation into one of the most fascinating questions in modern science. A question that could change how humanity thinks about existence itself. If you value deep investigations like this, consider subscribing. As debate spread, the original question slowly became less important than the response itself. Researchers wanted to know exactly why the eye answered the way it did. Every sentence was examined. Every reference was tracked. Every concept was compared against existing scientific theories. The goal was not to prove the machine correct. The goal was to understand how the answer had been constructed. This process revealed something interesting. The eye had not relied on a single field of knowledge. Instead, it appeared to pull ideas from many disciplines at once. Physics, mathematics, computer science, philosophy, information theory. The result was a response that seemed familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. Many of the individual ideas already existed. Yet their combination felt unusual. For some researchers, that was not surprising. Modern science is highly specialized. Experts spend years studying narrow subjects. This approach creates tremendous knowledge, but it also creates boundaries. A physicist may not closely follow developments in philosophy. A mathematician may rarely explore theories from computer science. Important connections can remain hidden simply because knowledge is divided into separate communities. The eye faced no such limitation. It could examine patterns across millions of documents without regard for academic borders. That ability led some scientists to ask an intriguing question. Could advanced eye become a tool for discovering overlooked relationships between existing ideas? Not new facts. Not new laws of nature, but new ways of connecting information already available. Some researchers believed the answer was yes. History of red examples. Many scientific breakthroughs emerged when ideas from different fields came together. Concepts once considered unrelated suddenly revealed their connections. Electricity and magnetism became electromagnetism. Space and time became spacetism. Biology and chemistry became molecular biology. Progress often occurred when boundaries disappeared. Perhaps I could accelerate that process. Authors remained skeptical. They warned that humans are naturally skilled at finding patterns. Sometimes too skilled. People often detect meaning even when none exists. Clouds become faces. Coincidences become signs. Random events become stories. The concern was that researchers may be doing the same thing with AI output. Perhaps the machine was simply generating convincing language. Perhaps the apparent connections existed only in the means of those reading them. The disagreement intensified. Yet amid the arguments, one detail continued attracting attention. The AI repeatedly returned to the concept of information. Not information as people normally think of it. Not books. Not websites. Not computer files. But information as a fundamental property of reality. This idea had been quietly growing within scientific circles for decades. Some physicists argued that information may be as important as matter and energy. Others suggested it may be even more fundamental. According to these theories, the universe could be understood as an immense informational structure. Everything people see, stars, planets, galaxies, even space itself, may emerge from their informational processes. To many people, the idea sounded strange. Yet versions of it appeared in serious scientific discussions. And somehow, the AI's answer seemed to circle back to it again and again. Researchers could not ignore that pattern. The more closely they examined the response, the more they found themselves drawn toward an unsettling possibility. What if understanding the universe was not primarily about understanding matter? What if the deepest level of reality was something far more abstract? The investigation was no longer focused on who built the universe. Now it was moving toward a different mystery entirely. A mystery about the nature of reality itself. And the deeper scientists looked, the stronger the questions became. The idea sounds simple at first. Everything is information. But the more scientists explored it, the stronger it became. For most of history, people assumed the universe was built from physical things. Matter was considered the foundation of reality. Rocks, planets, stars, and galaxies seemed solid and obvious. They appeared to be the basic ingredients from which everything else emerged. Then physics began uncovering a deeper picture. Atoms were not solid objects. They were mostly empty space. Subatomic particles behaved in unexpected ways. Quantum mechanics revealed a world governed by probabilities rather than certainty. The deeper researchers looked, the less reality resembled everyday experience. At the same time, another field was advancing rapidly. Information theory. Originally developed to understand communication and data, information theory became one of the most influential scientific ideas of the modern era. It provided a framework for measuring and analyzing information itself. Over time, some scientists began asking a provocative question. What if information is not merely something that describes reality? What if information is reality? One of the most famous versions of this idea became known as it from bit. The concept suggested that physical reality may emerge from fundamental units of information. In this view, the universe behaves less like a collection of objects and more like a vast informational process. The idea remained controversial. Many physicists viewed it as an interesting perspective rather than a proven theory. Authors believed it pointed towards something profound. As researchers examined the AI's response, they noticed similarities to these discussions. The machine did not claim that information created the universe. It did not declare a final answer. Instead, it repeatedly connected existence to informational structures, mathematical relationships, and physical laws. That pattern caught attention because it appeared across multiple sections of the response. To some observers, this was actually what should be expected. The eye had absorbed countless scientific papers and philosophical discussions. Naturally, recurring themes would appear in its output. To others, however, the repetition seemed meaningful. Not because the machine had discovered a hidden truth, but because it highlighted a trend already emerging within modern science. Interestingly, researchers were finding that information plays a central role in understanding reality. Black holes raised questions about information preservation. Quantum mechanics involved information at its core. Computing itself depended on information processing. The concept seemed to appear everywhere scientists looked. Yet enormous mysteries remained. Nobody fully understood how information related to consciousness. Nobody knew whether information could exist independently of physical systems. And nobody could explain with certainty how information alone could produce a universe filled with matter, energy, and life. Those unanswered questions created a gap. A gap between theory and understanding. The eye had stepped directly into that gap. Not by solving it, but by drawing attention to it. That distinction mattered. Machines can organize knowledge. They can identify patterns. They can reveal connections. But they cannot replicate evidence. The scientific method still requires observation, testing, and verification. Without those things, even the most fascinating idea remains speculation. Yet despite these limitations, something important had happened. The experiment had pushed experts from different disciplines into the same conversation. Physicists, computer scientists, philosophers, mathematicians. All were now debating the same fundamental question. What is reality actually made of? And as the discussion grew, another realization emerged. Perhaps the greatest mystery was not the universe itself. Perhaps it was the machine helping humans think about it. If you value deep investigations like this, consider subscribing. As the discussion intensified, a more grounded group of researchers stepped in. They wanted to pull the conversation back to something measurable. Something real. They pointed out a simple fact that often gets lost in speculation. The eye does not understand anything. It does not observe the universe. It does not experience reality. It does not think in the human sense. It generates responses based on patterns in data. That distinction is critical. Because without it, it becomes easy to assign meaning where there may be none. In this case, the eye was built using vast datasets that include scientific papers, textbooks, discussions, and public information. It learned how language is used to describe complex ideas. It learned how arguments are structured. It learned how theories are explained. But learning patterns is not the same as discovering truth. Researchers emphasized that point repeatedly. A quantum computer, no matter how advanced, does not reveal hidden knowledge about the universe. It performs calculations under specific physical rules. Those rules are powerful, but they are still rules of computation, not revelation. Even when combined with eye systems, the result is still bounded by data and algorithms. Not insight beyond human knowledge. This is where misunderstandings often begin. When an eye produces a surprising or elegant response, it can feel meaningful. The language may appear thoughtful. The structure may resemble reasoning. But underneath, it remains statistical generation. The system predicts what words are most likely to follow based on patterns it has seen before. Nothing more. And yet, even within these limits, something subtle was happening. Researchers noticed that the controversy itself was revealing a deeper human tendency. People often respond strongly when machines produce language that touches existential questions. Especially questions about origin, meaning, and existence. This reaction is not new. Even before modern eye, humans often interpreted complex systems in symbolic ways. A random pattern becomes a message. A coincidence becomes a sign. A prediction becomes truth. The introduction of I into this pattern amplifies it. Because now the source feels intelligent, even when it is not conscious. This creates tension between perception and reality. Some scientists warned that treating I output as philosophical insight could lead to confusion. They argued that it is important to separate computational output from genuine scientific discovery. Others countered with a different perspective. They agreed the I is not conscious, but they suggested something more subtle. Even if the machine does not understand, it can still help humans understand. Not by producing truth, but by reorganizing information in ways that highlight overlooked relationships. This idea did not solve the controversy. Instead, it deepened it. Because it raised another question. If a system can help humans see connections they make out here with miss, does it matter whether the system understands those connections? Or is usefulness enough? The debate continued across academic circles, online forums, and private research groups. Some dismissed the entire discussion as overinterpretation. Others sallallahu alaihi wasallam it as a glimpse into a new kind of tool for scientific exploration. But amid all the disagreement, one fact remained unchanged. The IS response had already influenced how people were thinking about one of humanity's oldest questions. Not by answering it, but by reshaping how it was being asked. And as researchers continued analyzing the system's output, they began to realize something else was unfolding beneath the surface. A shift not in the machine, but in the humans studying it. A shift that would soon lead the investigation toward its most unsettling reflection yet. By this stage, the investigation had moved far away from the original question. Who built the universe? That question still remained unanswered. But it was no longer the center of attention. Instead, researchers were now focused on